This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Entertainment Hour here on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Dragon Viper, your host today. My co-host, Crispy Bacon, is here as well. How are you doing, Chris?
I am doing good. Glad to be back for another episode, and I think everybody's going to enjoy it.
I think so. We added a new category, and we're going to try and see how well that works out. Depending on how it works out, we may end up, bringing it back for future shows. You never know.
Yep.
That's the good thing about watching this is, sometimes we change it up a little bit. So, and like always, we start off with the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network shows. So go ahead, Chris, and announce some of them.
Yeah, so entertainment hours tonight. Sunday, you'll have Morning Tailgate talking about the week 3 of the NFL season. And Between the Ropes at night, talking everything wrestling there. You have Bro Code on Monday, and you also have C2C at night on Monday. Then on Tuesday, you have C2C game night when Cowan's available to host that, just pretty much playing games. And also that day, you have C2C Rankum. Wednesday, we have our football fantasy show and Sports Minute. And that kind of brings it back to today.
Well, there you go.
Thursday's on deck. So.
Okay, good. Thank you, Chris. And just remember, if you missed any, just pay attention to the network and set your notifications to receive all, and you'll be able to find, see all these shows and more. So we're gonna go ahead and move on now to celebrity news. I only did a couple tonight because we are adding a category, so I didn't want to spend too much time on the news.
Right.
But one of the stories I read and wanted to bring up was, so P. Diddy. People know him as Puff Daddy, Sean Diddy Combs, P. Diddy, anyway, so many names through the years. Anyway, he actually ended up getting arrested on Monday. He was arrested for and being charged with sex trafficking. I guess he's been doing this for quite a while. And the feds have been pretty much building a case and watching him since 2008. So it's definitely been quite a while. And so he was arrested on Monday, on this past Monday, the 16th. He's actually currently in jail at this time. The jail, and I didn't forgot what jail it was, or if they even mentioned it, but the jail has put him on a suicide watch. His attorney is saying that there's no reason for it, that he's okay while he's in there. And this is what's sad. I mean, you get all these celebrities that you listen to. I mean, you have R. Kelly, you have, P. Diddy and others that get into trouble. You listen to them, you like, people like them, and then you find out that they end up doing crimes that, you're not really, that's bad. I'm just gonna say that crimes are bad, and and then it's like, well, I still like their music, but now I'm not liking them as a person because I mean, it's like, R. Kelly. There's a few songs I still like of his. I don't like him now as a person because of his crime that he committed, a few years ago. And then, which I'm not going to announce on the air, and then you have P. Diddy doing what he did. And again, I happen to like P. Diddy's music, but unfortunately now I'm not liking him very much because of his crime. So, I mean, do you like any of his music? I mean, did you like him before hearing of what he did? I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
I probably listened to some music of his. I'm not quite sure, so I'm probably going to say I have. As a person, I mean, he was okay by me up until now, and it's kind of like even with sports and like football with the Michael Vick situation. I like Michael Vick as a football player. What he did was not cool, and it kind of goes with this situation.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, you grow up, you idolize these people, these celebrities. You think these celebrities are cool, whether if it's Michael Vick, P. Diddy, um, you know, I mean, all these celebrities that are do their crimes, and you grow up not knowing that they're actually really bad people or they make bad decisions. And for some of those that don't know, P. Diddy was actually a huge billionaire mogul. I mean, he has his own brand of shoes and brand of clothing and everything else. Now my thing is now that he's gotten arrested for this, are they going to pull it all off the shelves? I assume they are, because I know a lot of stores aren't going to want to carry his merchandise when what he did was wrong. So yeah, I mean, it sucks hearing that happened, because again, I like some of his music, but now I mean, look at Chris Brown. Chris Brown has a few good songs, but look what he did to Rihanna. So, I mean, anyway, so yeah, it's terrible hearing this. So I guess he may end up spending many years in prison because of this. Anyway, and that's pretty much all I have about him. Did you have more to add to him?
About who?
About P. Diddy?
No, I mean, he shouldn't have done what he did. He'll pay.
Yeah. And then the other news story, another singer ended up going to jail. And I can't say he went to jail. It was kind of like a book and release on a bond, but he's on probation. Darius Rucker, who some know him as one of the singers for Hootie and the Blowfish, other know him as in country music, he's a solo singer with Wagon Wheel and another song called don't think I don't think about it. Anyway, he's on probation now. Supposedly, if I read this correctly, he was pulled over at he had a traffic stop, and he ended up getting pulled over and in February of 2024 and find out that he had a warrant out for him, which I guess he didn't know or something. But he ended up finding out he had a warrant. He got arrested, and he had a court date on September 10th of this year, and he pled no contest. So because of the fact that he pled no contest, he's not going to spend any jail time. His crime was drug charges. Which I can't imagine him doing something like that, especially, with his age. He's in his 50s. I couldn't imagine him doing something like that, but I guess he did. But he pled no. What was that?
I was going to say, it depends on what they define as drug charges.
He had, 2 counts of simple possession and casual exchange of controlled substance, and 1 count of violation of Tennessee's vehicle registration law, which means he had, I think he had drugs on him or something. I don't, not very sure, but
right.
Yeah. And he had, according to his records, he had pot, and he had a little bit of mushrooms. From an interview he did in May, he said that he had marijuana in his car, and he either had mushrooms or something else in his vehicle as well. So anyway, he is on probation 11 months and 29 days. He was told that his charges will be expunged if he completes the probation completely through with not getting in any more trouble. And his bond when he was released, his bond was set at $10,500. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Again, you think that, you idolize a singer, you idolize a celebrity, you think they're awesome, and then you find out that, even the simplest of crimes, you kind of want to steer away from them. You like their songs, but again, and just like, I mentioned about P. Diddy, you steer away from the person themselves. Now, it's not as bad as what P. Diddy did, but he still now has a record. Currently.
But like I said, it also depends. That's what I was saying. It depends on what it was.
Yeah.
Because people can joke, marijuana, okay. Mushrooms, they may not know. But marijuana, they're like, okay.
Yeah, and in certain states, it's legal. I don't know what the legality is for Tennessee, but obviously you can't be driving with it in your car, especially if he, has a count of violation of Tennessee's vehicle registration law. So I'm assuming he had it in his vehicle and it was against the law. So, but anyway, that's the news I've got for tonight. And then we're going to move on to our next segment. Where are they now?
Okay.
And see, I'm trying to make it to where I do the where are they now, with shows that you've seen, so that you know who they are and things like that. You and I are in a different generation, so you've seen Family Matters, right?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So you'll know who I'm talking about. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to, when I do this, I'm trying to make it where you know the shows, you've seen the shows, you know who they are. So,
Mhm.
but so I did Family Matters, and I wrote a few of these guys down. We have Reginald Vell Johnson, who was Carl Winslow, the dad.
Mhm.
He, let's see, he's still acting. I mean, and I'm trying to find a good website to, be able to get more in depth of what these guys are up to now. But I mean, again, I've got what I've got. But anyway, Carl Winslow, or should I say Reginald Vell Johnson, he is currently still acting in other TV shows. I think there was a couple movies he was in as well. He's currently on Progressive commercials. I don't have commercials, so I don't.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah, he's the dad of Family Matters.
No, I know, but I mean on the Progressive commercial.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, he plays in the Progressive commercials now, and his quote was that he will continue acting as long as his health allows it. So I'm sure until his health starts failing, he's going to continue acting into 2025 and 2026, and just depending on his health. So I mean, I like him. I mean, I haven't really watched much TV that he's been in, but I actually do like him in Family Matters. So I'm glad to see he's still out there acting.
Yeah.
Then we have Darius McCrary, who was Eddie on the show, Eddie Winslow.
Oh.
And he's still in entertainment. He's still, acting. He actually has a podcast out there called I'm Not Laughing.
Mhm.
And what this podcast is about the fact that celebrities are getting such a bad rap because other celebrities are out there causing trouble and committing crimes, while you have these celebrities that are good guys that aren't doing anything wrong. But I guess either it's society or the media, they're trying to give celebrities a bad rap. Well, Darius is there on his podcast to try and explain that, some celebrities are good. They do not commit crimes. They do not get in trouble. And that the media need to stop and society needs to stop labeling all celebrities as evil people. So that's pretty much what he's doing. He's standing up for other celebrities.
Yeah.
Then
Good.
we have Kelly, and I can't pronounce her middle name, but her last name is Williams, who was Laura Winslow. The only thing I got out of it was she's still acting to this day. I don't recall anything she's ever done besides that, but I haven't watched everything either. So, and then we have Jaleel White on the show. Steve Urkel.
Oh, okay.
And he's still acting to this day. And I probably have said this on the show before. I probably haven't, but I have heard this and I've said this before somewhere. But an interesting fact for those that don't know, Jaleel White, Steve Urkel was only supposed to be on the very first episode, and then that's it.
Huh.
And when people watched the show, they made him more popular than anybody else on the show. They wrote, the studio and said, "Hey, you need to bring him back. We like him. We like Steve Urkel." And so they went ahead and they said, okay, and then they made him a regular on the show. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, they went from going, yeah, we're just going to have him as an annoying neighbor. We're going to have him one episode. That's it. To, hey, he's more popular than the rest of them. We'll just have him as a normal character on the show every week. So, I mean, that I figured that was a fun fact. And he is irritated because people come up to him and continue to have him do his lines from
that?
exactly from the show, and he's a little irritated because he wants to he feels he's an actor who can do more than one part, serious, funny, nerdy, things like that. But people are not allowing him to do that when he's on other shows. They want him to continue to be like Steve Urkel, and that's how people come up to him as, hey, Steve Urkel, Steve Urkel. And he kind of regrets it nowadays. He regrets being Steve Urkel. He regrets, I mean, you could think about how much money he's made from that show because he was Steve Urkel. Probably made quite a bit of money, but yeah, he's at the point in life where he's sitting there going, I regret it. I can't. It's like, somebody like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, they, even Miley Cyrus, they go and they have a persona of themselves for so long that they're this teenage girl, that they're nice, things like that, and then they try and do different types of songs and show that they're adults now, and nobody was letting them be an adult. They kept trying to keep them as a teenager. So that's when they would rebel and get in trouble and things like that. Well, Jaleel White's the same way. He wants to be normal. He wants to get away from the Urkel character, and people are not letting him do that. So now he's at the point he's regretting doing it. Which is sad because, playing a character that's got you so popular and so much fame that you just can't shake that character off, and to the point where you're like, nope, forget it. I regret doing the show. If I could go back, I wouldn't do it. Then we have Jo Marie Payton, who was Harriet Winslow, the wife. She's still acting to this day. And here's a fact, and this one I didn't know. Her and Jaleel White actually used to butt heads in the back. They had issues with each other in the back. I mean, you're looking at, a kid literally having an issue with an adult, and they would just go back and forth and banter on and argue with each other to one point, Jaleel White, as a teenager, threatened to physically fight her. Backstage, he threatened to fight, Jo Marie Payton. Right. I'm sitting here and I sit and I think, that's kind of funny looking, because at that time he was still nerdy and he was still a kind of a teenager, and he's trying to fight this adult woman because they're arguing back and forth and butting heads and stuff. So, I mean, I kind of find it a little funny that, kind of a funny scenario there, but that was a fun fact. And then we have Rosetta Lenore, who played Estelle Grandma Winslow, who passed away in 2002 because of, I guess it was natural causes because of how old she was. So, yeah, so obviously, that's what she's doing now. Nothing, because, she did pass away. And then we have Michelle Thomas, who went by Myra on the show, who was obsessed with Steve Urkel.
Mm-hmm.
And then she passed away.
Mm,
But the weird thing is she passed away shortly after the show ended.
that's crazy.
It's like she waited until the end with her health, and then she passed away. And she passed away from cancer in '97. So yeah, shortly after, I think it was a few months after the show had ended, she passed on. So, um, yeah, I thought that was it was sad, but it was kind of you know almost like her body's like, okay, you're not done, you're not done. Okay, the show is over. We're gonna, you're now done. So, um, anyway, so that was a few of the cast members of Family Matters of what they're doing. Pretty much, they're besides the last two that did pass away, they're pretty much all still acting to this day.
That's good.
And nobody in trouble this time.
That's good.
I know
That's really good.
last week, there were a couple that got into legal issues and all that, but no, none of them got into legal issues from the information I read. So, yeah, that's a good thing. So we're going to go ahead and move on to celebrity birthdays.
Okay.
I know this is James's favorite, and
It's mine, yeah.
it's yours, it's mine. And if my mom was watching, it'd be hers because she enjoys hearing,
Crazy
whose
answers.
whose birthdays they are. And then, of course, she laughs at Chris because of the fact that he's way off sometimes with guessing people's birthday, their ages. So now I didn't have much for today because when I try and do it, I try and look at bigger stars.
Yeah.
I try and look at bigger celebrities that, general population and general people know who they are.
Right.
And so anyway, uh I only have a few for today. I have more for tomorrow. Um anyway, so for today we have Gary Cole, who was the father of the Brady Bunch that was on the Brady Bunch movie. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I've seen the Brady Bunch.
Huh?
I've seen the Brady Bunch TV show.
Okay. No, the TV show dad's different from the movie dad because the TV show dad passed away.
Oh,
So they had to have somebody fill in for him, and it just happened to be Gary Cole. And then he also played on Office Space, and I mean, have you seen that?
I think so, yeah.
It's Jennifer Aniston's on it. It's about the
Okay.
guy who doesn't care about his job.
Okay.
But anyway, Gary Cole is Lumbergh himself. He's the guy that talks like this monotone and says the quote, well, if you could just come in, we need extra people, that would be great. Kind that kind of way. So anyway, so we have Gary Cole
I would say
today.
60.
What was that?
60?
You're kind of close. 68.
Okay.
So turned 68 today. Then I got a couple. Actually, is that? Yeah, that's today. I got a few sports people that I know you know.
I hope.
Well, we have Arn Anderson.
Okay, WWE. 72?
Nope. 66.
All right, Aaron. You can come for me.
Yeah, yeah, he's really sorry, Arn.
Don't say Cody.
Then we have WWF Hall of Famer Greg Valentine, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
74?
You are close on that one. 73.
Dang. Because I was trying to think, okay, it was from
You
like,
were really close on that one. Then the last one I had for today, and you and I both know this guy.
yeah.
Dallas Cowboys cornerback, Trayvon Diggs.
Wow. His birthday's today.
Yeah.
That's cool. 27.
You're close. Again. 26.
Dang it.
So, yeah. Sorry, James. You've got two Dallas Cowboys guys in here. So, I had to put that in there. So, anyway, yeah, he's 26 today. Then moving on to tomorrow. We have, I don't know if you know who the singer Jason Derulo
Jason
Derulo is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Country singer?
No, he's kind of a rap pop singer. He sings Savage Love and In My Head and most of his songs start off with him saying his name.
I never knew that. 48.
Not even close. 35. And then I don't know if you know the band Oasis. They're more of a 90s rock band.
I've heard of them, and I think I've listened to some of their music.
They have Wonderwall, and I'm blanking on the other one, but Wonderwall came to mind.
I'm going to say 31, 32.
Anyway, Liam Gallagher from Oasis. Not even close.
I know.
No, 52.
Okay.
Then I don't know how much country you listen to. But I have Faith Hill.
Okay. American Idol, right?
No. Faith Hill. She's married to Tim McGraw.
Oh, okay. 48.
Not even close. 57.
I was so good too, and then it just went. Oh.
Then we have Bill Murray. Now I know you know who Bill Murray is. Everybody knows who Bill Murray is.
56. We don't know.
Yeah, not even close. 74. Yeah, Mr. Ghostbusters. Yeah, everybody knows who Bill Murray is. And then we have Alfonso Ribeiro, who was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as Carlton.
I almost want to do the dance.
Yeah, the Carlton dance. Nobody's seen it's not unusual. Anyway.
58.
You're off a little bit. But you made him older.
Dang it. How much older?
He's 53 tomorrow.
I was one off earlier. And...
Yep. Then moving on down with the TV shows, Dave Coulier from Full House.
Okay, he was
Joey.
Yeah. That's right. I'm gonna say 60.
Close. 65. You made him younger.
Oh, okay.
And then we move down to Luke Wilson. He's on Old School. He's on he's on a few movies. I couldn't remember which ones, but I do remember him on Old School.
52.
Close. Hey, you made him younger, but you're close. 53. He's actually technically he's 52 until tomorrow.
All right, so I'm in there. All right, cool.
So then we have my favorite author of all time, and if I would stop procrastinating, I would continue reading his stuff. But one of the most genius writers ever out there, and he's my favorite, Stephen King.
74.
You're close. 77.
Okay. I'll take it.
And then we have, and I've heard this because a couple friends like this guy singing or rapping, whatever it is. I don't care for him. I think he's overhyped, but some people may disagree with that. Tom McDonald.
52.
Not even close. You made him way older.
Oh.
Yeah, he's still kind of new within the past few years, but
No wonder I haven't heard of him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's kind of overhyped. So I know by a few people are really overhyping him, and it's kind of annoying. But anyway, no, he's turning 36 tomorrow. So yeah, you made him way older. Then finally, the last birthday for tomorrow, we have, and I'm sure you've heard of her, hopefully, Ricki Lake, talk show host.
Probably gonna overshoot this. We're gonna go 54.
You're close. Actually, you made her younger.
Okay.
But you're close. She's gonna be 56. So.
All right.
All right. Now we're moving on to our new topic, and like I said, we're gonna do this, and then if we feel that something needs tweaked on it, we'll try it next week a different way. But it's called Flashback Friday, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back in time to a year, that. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to give off the top 10 list of different entertainment things, entertainment topics, and find out in that specific year, what the top 10 of those things are. So, so we're going, 1997, we're doing 1997. I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, depending on when within that year. And I felt that, 7th grade wasn't that great of a year. That part of 97 wasn't that great of a year, but before that, I thought it was a great year. And so I understand there are a lot of top 10 lists all over the internet, all over everywhere. So I just chose one random top 10 list and then went with that. So for 1997, I did top 10 bands, and this came from musicvf.com. So these are the top 10 bands of 1997. Number 10, Celine Dion. Number 9, Sash, which I don't know who that is. Number 8, Savage Garden. Number 7, we talked about him earlier when he wasn't causing any crimes or trouble. Number 7, Diddy. Number 6, Notorious B.I.G. Number 5, I had a thing for this group. Spice Girls.
Uh-huh.
Number 4, I couldn't stand this group, so I don't know how it's in the above the top 5. But number 4, Hanson, could not stand them. Number 3, we have U2. Number 2, we have Elton John. Now, number 1, 1997. The number 1 band, which is no surprise because they've been number 1 in different categories for, I want to say,
Backstreet
from
Boys.
97 all the way to like 2004, I think. Yes, you're right.
I'm
Backstreet.
just guessing. I'm just guessing.
You're right. It was the Backstreet Boys. And they've hit number 1 in different types of categories for years, up until like 2004, I think, 2005. So, but yeah, you were right. Backstreet Boys were the number 1 band of 1997 on musicvf.com. Now looking at top 10 movies of 1997. And this is from Box Office Mojo. Number 10, George of the Jungle. Number 9, Batman and Robin. Number 8, Face Off. Number 7 surprises me. I'm surprised it's not towards number 1 more. Titanic. That surprises me. It's at number 7 because it broke all different kinds of records that year.
Yeah.
Number 6, My Best Friend's Wedding. Number 5, Star Wars Episode 4. Hope Awaken, or I forgot what that one was, but yeah, Episode 4. Number 4, Air Force One. Number 3, Liar Liar. Number 2, Lost World Jurassic Park. And this surprises me with number 1, honestly. Men in Black. So that number 1 surprised me, and Titanic being in number 7 spot really surprises me because that, like I said, that broke a lot of records that year. I remember going to theater watching it. So it was a very long movie to sit in the theaters for. And when you're a kid and you're sitting there in the movie theaters, you don't want to sit for 3.5 hours to watch a movie.
Right.
So,
like Avatar.
Yeah, like Avatar. And then we got, and before I move on, we got comments from Brandon Herrera.
Of course you do.
And one thing says, say his name and he appears. We don't believe in Joe Hendry. So Brandon, we're not talking about wrestling. You can do that on Sunday on Between the Ropes. You will sometimes catch Brandon Herrera on there. Then Brandon Herrera says, 1997, last year the Cowboys saw a Super Bowl. And your point is what, Brandon? When was the last time the Vikings ended up seeing a Super Bowl or winning a Super Bowl? I'm just throwing that out there. And then Brandon says, Hanson way better than the Spice Girls. I'm not commenting on that one. And then Brandon says, Dragon Viper still has Backstreet Boys poster on his wall. No, actually, I don't. No. I'm not saying if I actually did at one point or not, but and then Brandon says Titanic sank to 7. Yeah, I mean, it did. So
I get it.
Yep. Now you get it. And then going on to top 10 actors of 1997 from the website The Numbers. So we have number 10, Val Kilmer, which I like Val Kilmer. I mean, I've mentioned it a few times on this show. I like Val Kilmer and Batman Forever. So But Val Kilmer, number 10. Number 9, Nicolas Cage. Number 8 surprises me. He should be up towards the number 1, but number 8, Bruce Willis. Number 7, Robert De Niro. Number 6, Brad Pitt. Number 5, Pierce Brosnan. This surprises me too. Number 4, Mel Gibson. Number 3, Jim Carrey. Number 2, John Travolta. And this is no surprise because he was an amazing actor. Unfortunately, he's no longer here, but he was an amazing comedian, amazing actor. He could have done any kind of acting, any movie, any cartoon. But number 1, Robin Williams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree with number 1 on that one. An amazing man, amazing actor, amazing comedian, everything he did. He did amazing on. So, and going back to the comments, Brandon says Titanic should have sank more. No, what are you doing? Titanic was amazing, Brandon. And then Brandon says Dragon Viper crushing on Val. No. I like Val Kilmer as an actor, but no, absolutely not. Brandon says Will Smith should be number 2. Well, Will Smith should have been in that list of top 10, but maybe the next week when I choose a year, he'll be on that list. And of course, Brandon says Titanic sucks. Well, guess what? He's only saying that because I said it was good. Because Chris, he loves doing saying opposite from what I say.
Right.
Brandon says for one reason. Okay, Brandon, what's that reason? And then we're going on to the final top 10 of 1997. Top 10 songs. And this is from the site Wikipedia. Top 10. Number 10 is Wannabe by Spice Girls. No more comments about Spice Girls from you, Brandon. Number 9, How Do I Live by LeAnn Rimes. Number 8, Return of the Mac by Mark Morrison. I didn't care for that song. That shouldn't even be in the top 10. Number 7, Don't Let Go by En Vogue. Number 6, we talked about him earlier when talking about Diddy. I Believe I Can Fly by R. Kelly. And speaking of Diddy, number 5 by Puff Daddy at the time, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. That was actually a good song. Number 4, Tony Braxton's Unbreak My Heart. That was a good song. Then we have number 3, another Puff Daddy, I'll Be Missing You. And that was pretty much about Notorious B.I.G. That song was about him and how he got, shot and everything. So I'm just going to call him Sean Combs because that's his real name. But Sean wrote that song for him. I don't know if you know the song or if you knew that, Chris, but
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, it was meant for. That's why Notorious B.I.G.'s wife or girlfriend, I forgot if they got married or not, but she was in that song too, singing with Sean. So, and then number 2 is a tie. You Were Meant for Me and Foolish Games by Jewel. So two of Jewel songs. And number 1, Candle in the Wind, and it's a tie. Candle in the Wind and Something About the Way You Look Tonight, both by Elton John. So, man, I actually love this category because I'm taking a trip in the past and I'm remembering this stuff.
Right.
So I'm Chris is the one that brought this topic up. So I'm really thankful for Chris for doing that because it's awesome. And then going back to the comments, Brandon says the main actor. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio actually was a terrible actor. I didn't care for him either. Then he says Titanic sucked because you like it and the main actor. Again, I don't like Leonardo. I did like the movie. And then Brandon says, "I Believe I Can Fly" was his graduation song. Not surprised. And then Brandon says, "I'm surprised Dragon Viper knew that." Well, Brandon, I was born before that, and I am into music a lot, so obviously I would know that. And then Brandon says, "Do you know why Candles in the Wind is number one?" I have no idea. I've only heard that song maybe once or twice. Have you heard that song, Chris?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Well, I've heard it once or twice. I have no idea why it's number one, but it is. According to Wikipedia, that's how it is. So, all right.
Do we believe them?
Huh?
I said, do we believe them?
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, it just I picked one and went with that top 10. So
No,
we'll have more of that next Friday when we do our show, and then we'll have a different year. So and then we're gonna move on to our usual top 10. Favorite actor, favorite movies from an actor, actress, and singer or band. I chose for actor John Travolta. And so go ahead and read your list there, Chris.
I got Pulp Fiction, Grease, Saturday Night Fever, Face Off, Get Shorty, Urban Cowboy, Blowout, Hairspray, The General's Daughter, and Phenomenon.
Yeah, that's a good list. Some of them I haven't even seen, so yeah. And going to the comments, Brandon said he sang it when Princess Diana died. That makes sense why it was number one. So yeah, that's good. I didn't know that, but thanks for that information, Brandon. And then Brandon says Entertainment Hour turning into C2C Rankum. No, we are not turning into C2C Rankum. I'm about to get on your show, Brandon, and say that you're copying us. So completely different, my friend, completely different. So anyway, my list, I have here From Paris with Love. It was weird seeing him with a cross earring in that movie. And then Wild Hogs. I mean, Tim Allen, John Travolta, Martin Lawrence, and I don't remember the fourth guy's name, but yeah, all of them in there in that movie. I love that movie, and I could watch it over and over. Another one I would watch over and over that John Travolta was in, The Punisher. Amazing movie. I mean, yeah. He did. I did Austin Powers Goldmember, and it's only because he made a cameo in that movie.
No, I didn't know. I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie, and I didn't know that.
It was in the very end of that movie. He made a cameo. He played Goldmember at the very end when they're sitting at the theater and they're watching, Goldmember. Or I'm not saying what the actual movie was that they were watching, but he was acting as Goldmember in that movie. And then I have General's Daughter, Primary Colors, Face Off, great movie. Michael, Phenomenon, Pulp Fiction, and Look Who's Talking. So I mean, I think that was the first John Travolta movie. No. Second, Grease was the first John Travolta movie I saw. And then I think Look Who's Talking was the second. So, yeah, and John Travolta is still acting right now, and he's still amazing. So, Brandon says that is what they all say when they copy other people. I have nothing else to say about that. So moving on, Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
My list, I have, and I'm only having 10 tonight because
Yeah.
we're close to that hour mark, and I knew we kind of would hit the hour because of the extra segment. But my list, I have Murder Mystery, Mother's Day, Horrible Bosses 2, Just Go With It, The Bounty Hunter, He's Just Not That Into You, The Breakup, Rumor Has It, Along Came Polly, and Office Space. So, I mean, I really like Office Space, obviously, because I just listed like 2 people from Office Space. So,
Right.
all right, now go ahead with your list.
The Good Girls, Marley and Me, Horrible Bosses, Cake, that good movie. We're the Millers, Along Came Polly, Breakup, Just Go With It, Office Space, and Dumpling.
Yeah, she is also, she's an amazing actress, and I have a friend who I used to work with, and he of course had to move away. If he ever watches the show, yes, Koffler, I'm talking to you. Anyways, he was obsessed with Jennifer Aniston. So I was trying to think of an actress, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, yeah, I can have her on here. So that's Jennifer Aniston. And then finally, our final topic is top 10 Mariah Carey songs. And I'm going to have you start, Chris.
Mariah Carey. All right. Vision of Love. We Belong Together. Hero. Everybody's favorite song.
No.
All I Want for Christmas Is You. Fantasy.
I was hoping you wouldn't have that.
Always Be My Baby. One Sweet Day. It has Boys to Men in it. Emotions. My All. And Honey.
Yeah, good ones. I mean, again, I only did 10. I didn't even do honorable mentions tonight, but a couple of those definitely would have been a couple of the honorable mentions. My list is We Belong Together, Emotions, Fantasy, Touch My Body, Always Be My Baby, Hero. One Sweet Day I had to have because it's like you said, with them being on there, and amazing song. Vision of Love, Heartbreaker, and there was a remix. I don't remember who was on it, but yeah, good song. And then Thank God I Found You. So, I mean, you had other songs that, like I said, could have been honorable mentions. But
Not that I could think of, no.
but yeah, those were Mariah Carey songs. And I was really, really, really hoping you wouldn't have All I Want for Christmas, but
I'm sorry.
obviously you like it, so of course it's going to be on there. I'm not wanting Christmas to come because I know I'm going to hear it a billion times, and it's almost as bad as the other female singer we don't talk about very often on here because she's annoying too.
You know what pay-per-view is coming up, right?
What? No. Yeah, I will not be watching that. I will try and boycott. It'll be boycotted at home, but I'm going to try and boycott.
I don't know if she's really going to be the intro song. I'm just saying. It relates.
but yeah, I'm gonna try and boycott that at home because yeah. And then Brandon says Chris Mabry lists are way smart. I'm gonna jump on there one of these times, Brandon, when I don't have a meeting. Just saying. Brandon says One Sweet Day, great song, Chris. Hey, I had it too. Then he says All I Want for Christmas, great song, Chris. Brandon, I'm good. Oh. And then Brandon says, Chris, you have 3 great lists. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm waiting for a great list from Brandon when he does rank them, because I've been watching rank them, and I'm waiting for some good names and lists to come out from him. I mean, Tim's doing better than him, so I mean, but anyway, so that's our show for today. Is there anything else you want to add or say or?
Just thanks everyone for commenting and joining in, and we'll be back next week.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, and yes, thank you everybody for commenting. I know Brandon is kind of obnoxious, but we enjoy his comments anyways. And we had a couple others, come on and comment, So I want to thank everybody for watching, commenting. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Brandon says, jealous much there, Dragon Viper? No, not even close. Sorry, buddy. So anyways, we're going to end it. And we will see you again next week on Entertainment Hour. Hopefully James will be joining, but he's been kind of busy. So we understand, and we'll still carry the show along. So everybody have a great night from Entertainment Hour and Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Everybody have a good night and a good weekend.